Well, hello everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. Back again, my good friend Maytal, Zchut. Maytal, it's so good to have you back.
Thank you for having me, Tommy. I am really excited to be back. I really, really am, and for many reasons. Actually, one of the biggest ones is that I actually lied to you a little bit last time I was on the podcast. It wasn't like a big lie; it was kind of like a lie by omission. But you asked me what if there was anybody like influential in my early like career in storytelling, and like anybody who was a big advocate for me. And I kind of like skipped over all of high school. I just jumped straight into college. I was like, oh, I had this course that I didn't like, and I just went on about it. But instead, I should have mentioned that in high school, that's what shaped like my storytelling ability. I just didn't see it as like conventional storytelling, I guess, which is why my brain skipped over it. But I had two very influential teachers in my early, career in high school. And we actually had a TV studio in our high school. And over there, we were able to like make all these like short videos and like, all these things that were like the basis of storytelling. And I never thought about that as storytelling because I was like, we didn't write a script, but we would do like chase scenes and music videos and like all these things. And that is what shaped it for me, like all the storytelling. And then I went to college and, totally different experience. But in high school, like I learned from two of the best teachers, period, I've ever had. And so a huge shout out to Steve Milano and Jason Daly. And that's it. Okay, we can move on.
No, I'm so glad that you remembered, because we were kind of talking before we hit record, and I do it myself, and it's I do the podcast. I'll have all these like questions that I've been thinking about, and then I just go blank, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's some psychological thing that goes on in my brain.
It is. It's all of us. It's all of our brain. It's not just your brain. I ramble. That's my response. Yeah.
No, I had so much fun with you last time. I felt like our conversation was amazing. To get to know you so much better too was awesome. I was supposed to go to San Diego Comic-Con that year, last year when you came on, and I was looking forward to meeting you in person. And then I got a new job, so I uprooted my family.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, well that's big news. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It is. It was a really good thing for my family. We had to move to Texas, so we live near San Antonio because my job is in San Antonio. So the whole family's here. What's great is I have 4 children. 2 of them were already in Texas because my son-in-law and my son are linemen. So they climb the telephone poles and they put up electrical and stuff like that. And they're stationed out here for the job. So we were able to get closer to my grandkids, which were awesome. So it's been a great year, but that's why I didn't go to San Diego Comic-Con. Are you going to be there this year?
I am going to be there this year. Yes, I am. I know it's like unconfirmed, but like, yeah, I'm going to be there. Yeah. So it should be a blast. I'm really excited. So if you were going to be there, definitely like come say hi and we'll hang out and we'll chat off the podcast.
Yeah, off the podcast, for sure. Well, I look forward to meeting you in person. You're such an amazing person. I know Danny. I know Danny quite well. When before she came to Ghost Machine, I was working with her somewhere else. One of the most amazing human beings, I think, in the industry.
Danny's amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. So, and
she
of course,
does a ton for Ghost Machine. And a huge shout out to Danny as well, because Danny does so much for Ghost Machine, and we're very lucky to have her.
We're very lucky to have her. I mean, what a great pickup by Ghost Machine, because she is fabulous, and I love talking to her. So I got to see her again, because I did see her the year before she came to Ghost Machine over at San Diego, and I really enjoy her. So, and she's the one that helps me connect with everybody, and I'm sure she does a bazillion things for everybody over at Ghost Machine too.
She does. She absolutely does, and I'm very grateful to her for organizing all of this and so that we could be back here and do this again, because honestly, I had such a blast last time I was here, and I was really looking forward to doing this again.
Well, I'm happy that you're back. We got Irene. So I don't know if you know Irene. That's Raymond Gay's wife.
Yes, of course I know her. Yes,
she's fabulous. I absolutely love her. I will be seeing you.
We had a blast at San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, it was so great to meet her too. And yeah, that was awesome. I had a blast there, honestly.
Yeah, it's fun. I'll be at MegaCon this week, which I'm excited, and she'll be there too. I assume you're going, Irene, with the Ray, but it'll be fun to be with them again.
Yeah, I'm sad we're missing that, but we're focusing up on San Diego and the big ones, and so that should be really fun.
Yeah. Well, Maytal, the last time we came, we were about to launch Sisterhood. I think maybe we had issue 1. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was very new. I don't think it was out yet.
I might have just come out because I feel like it might have maybe I'm wrong. I might be misremembering, but I feel like it had just come out and we were just getting some of the feedback and hearing everybody talk about it. And that, because I kind of remember that I was a little relieved, that it was that the first issue was out. And then after that, it was kind of it took such a, it made it so much easier to go through the rest of the process because everybody really enjoyed the first one. And of course I was nervous when all the other books were coming out, but at the same time it felt easier almost. After the first one was out, you're okay, now we're moving, now we're moving and grooving, and now the trade's coming out.
Yes, the trade is going to be so awesome. We talked a lot about DEVOUR. I know we talked a lot about DEVOUR, which I absolutely loved as well. I think we talked a lot about just the psychological aspect of weight and how that affects different people and what people are willing to do to look a certain way. That one really touched me a lot because I come from a family. We're all a little heavy, so I'm constantly fighting that. So
I come from a family of eaters. We love to eat, and now even it's an activity now. It's fun. Going out to eat is what we do for fun. With even me and my wife, we'll go out to eat because we're bored. It's a Tuesday. There's no reason. So we're trying to cut back on that, but also live your life. It's you have a good time.
Exactly. Very much like that with my wife too. We get bored. We're getting older now too, right? So, the kids are here a lot, but when they're not, we're I'm not going to cook. Let's just go get something. So,
I love that. I get it. Yeah.
But I love DEVOUR. And then obviously Sisterhood came, and it's so crazy in a good way.
Cool. Yeah.
Really, really good. And issue 5 has quite the twist at the end. So anyways, we don't want to spoil anything because the trade.
I was going to say, are we spoiling? I don't want to spoil. But I did actually wear my Sisterhood shirt for the occasion. It's the back is the same as the trade, but I'm not going to spin around to show you, so you'll just have to believe me. But it's my Sisterhood shirt for the occasion, so everybody. You can also get the merch, I think I'm the only one who has it, but you can get it.
We'll have to pick up one of those for sure. Those are awesome. I will actually show the cover because we want to get this out because, one, Sisterhood was amazing. Obviously, it's part of the whole HYDE Street. A lot of fun. It is crazy, though. The relationships, everything that's going on in that house. And then when you get to issue 5 and the twist at the very end, I'm telling you, if you haven't picked it up yet, you got to get it because I think you are going to be shocked by a lot of things that go on. I've never seen so many people be so mean, which is pretty funny. But then also that relationship also was a big part of it too. So I just love the whole thing. Let me pull up my screen because I do want to show. I'm going to show the right here. And the reason why we want to show this right away is because FOC is March 23rd. So you have about a week.
FOC is today. FOC is today.
It
said yeah. So it's your last chance. Did it say it there? Well, don't trust me, but trust Danny. If Danny says it was due today, then.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because then we need to call our comic shops and let them know that please have this ordered and put into your pull box. It'll be out April 22nd. So it will come out a month later or a little more than a month later. But then, I don't know if you've noticed this in being in comics, but you have some people that I have my Sisterhoods right here. Some people are floppy, right? So they want the floppies. Some people wait for the trades, right? So they're trade fans, right?
I have to say, I don't know if this is not okay in the comic world, but I am actually a trade. I prefer trades. I prefer trades because I like to read everything at once. I don't like to wait. I'm going to forget what happened. I like to have it all, binge it, get the next one. That's how I enjoy reading. So I am not faulting a single, trade lover because that is me. That's 100% me.
Yeah. Well, the older I get, the more I'm buying more trades. I'm 50 years old. I've been buying comics for 40 years. I have boxes and boxes of comic books.
Yeah.
I can tell you my wife wishes I was more of a trade person because they're everywhere.
Yeah. I was going to say, my wife, we have a lot of like spaces where we like, I'm going to say hide the comics because they're not like, she's like, you can't leave all of them out in the open. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, not everything is meant for display. So there's just like, there's ones under the bed and like one in our like bookshelf, like, like hidden in the cabinets, like things like that. And then there's the ones that just live on the bookshelf. And those are primarily trades and like hardcovers because those look nicer. And then my wife works in interior design, by the way. That's why.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're not going to get away with it.
She's like, yeah, I'm not going to exactly. The fact that she let me put these up on the wall, like, I was shocked. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
so, I kept telling my wife, these are like coffee table books, right? They should just be out there. We don't have 60 coffee tables. There's no reason for that.
That's so funny.
But the trade is coming out, so everyone please get over to your comic shop. Make sure that you get this ordered. Put it in your pull box. It'll be ready in April 22nd. And then if you are like Maytal and a lot of other readers and you want to get the whole story at once, you'll be able to sit there and binge. And it does read really nicely because when I went back through them again, as I get older, it's harder to remember. And I read a lot. I probably read 30 comic books a week. So by the time the next issue comes out, I'm like, what the heck happened again? I can't remember.
Exactly. It's like, and you're trying to keep track of like what you read where and like what happened where. It's like, I totally get it. So that, again, that's why I like trades, because it's like you can just read it all at once and get all the information right there. And I think, honestly, I do think this story like reads well as a kind of a binge. I had some of I was writing it as I went, but like there were elements that like I think work so well as a cohesive like whole. So I think if you enjoyed the books, or even if you haven't read them, this is a really great way to read them and enjoy the story as a whole.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I feel like the younger populations of comic book readers tend to be more toward trades, and I feel like more mainly, I don't want to generalize, but I think the older you are, you're still kind of, because you grew up on floppies,
collecting,
I like to collect. I got to get you to sign one, so I have to be.
I get it. Yeah,
I got to have a.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to get you one of those, a signed copy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to have one of that. I have to, but I do have your signature. When Ghost Machine first came out, you had it was
that one, or like the one shot. It was like the January issue. Yeah.
I showed everything, so I have you and Jeff and Peter and all of it.
I love that.
Which is awesome, man. It's one of my favorite comics. So, but I gotta have Sisterhood specifically has to have your signature on it. So I'm very.
I'm happy to do it anytime. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, I'm so excited for you. Now, you might not be able to announce anything yet, but I assume there's another title coming soon.
We're definitely working on things. I don't want to give a timeline or say exactly, when or where or what. But we're working on some more things. I've been working pretty hard at like kind of getting a new story together, and like I will say I think I can kind of hint to the fact that probably the next thing that will come out from me and Leila is something in a universe that isn't necessarily the HYDE Street universe, but so we're dabbling in other universes. But eventually we will find our way back to HYDE Street, as everybody does, and I'm sure we'll have another story there at some point.
Well, that's kind of breaking news that it would possibly break away from because there's 4 elements to Ghost Machine, HYDE Street being one of them, but the unnamed, right? You have these 4. What's it called?
Rogue Exodus and now the Unbelievables.
And the Unbelievables, yeah. So that's exciting. Like,
I'm really excited to try something new. Now, I love HYDE Street and I love the horror world, and I've really enjoyed telling stories there. And I already have these ideas that are going to bring me back there. But just for the time being, there's other opportunities to write in other universes, which is fun. And I think for Leila, that's fun too, like being able to draw in different universes, and we can explore that together. And I see it as kind of an opportunity to tell a story in a different way, because we have been doing horror, which I've loved, and it's been so fun, and it worked really well for the stories that we've told so far. But to dabble in other places, like, I think it's fun, and it's an opportunity to see kind of what we can come up with and how we can grow from it, almost, like, you know, in telling something different.
So without giving anything away, just separate ourselves from Ghost Machine. You've written horror and comics. Do you have another genre that you would like to test out, not necessarily relating to anything to Ghost Machine?
I mean, you know, I am not, I guess, how do I put this? Like, I am not picky in what I write, as long as it's something that really speaks to me. Like, I'm happy to do different genres, as long as it's something that I can kind of find a personal element and an in for, that is like something I can really connect to. If I can't connect to it, that's what makes it more challenging to write. But I enjoy writing as a whole. I enjoy storytelling as a whole. So to be able to tell stories in different universes, even if I haven't done it before, or different genres, to me, that is, again, like how I would grow as a writer, and how I would explore kind of different avenues of telling stories that are personal to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm really excited to try out something new. And no, there's not like a genre, aside from maybe, like, I think I said this last time, but like, I'm not a huge like comedy writer, but that's more applicable to like TV. Like, I actually love doing like cheeky comedy in like books and comic books and stuff, because it's like I think DEVOUR was a little, you know, like, it had its humor elements, you know,
sure.
and that was really fun for me to do that, especially in a horror space. Like, so I wouldn't say that I'm opposed to that. I just don't really want to do like a, you know, like a sitcom, I guess, which wouldn't be applicable here, but yeah.
You definitely could do it, because DEVOUR did have some humor in it too, for sure.
And I love that. I love that, like, little fun, you know, comedy and humor, and that, like, that's part of life too. It's like, it's not one thing, you know. So if you can figure out all those different elements and kind of put them in one, I think horror was a great place to do that. But so are other universes. It just depends on the tone of the universe as a whole.
Absolutely. And we got Raymond. We were just talking about you, Raymond, with Irene, but Raymond's here on Witchblade right now, which is awesome. So as you're kind of touring at comic book shops and you're being asked to sign books now, are you to the point where you could do like a little remark of a character? Have you tried like doing?
No, oh my God, no. I always joke with Leila that she's incredible. I can draw like stick figures. Like, there was actually one point at New York Comic Con a few years ago where like all the artists we were standing at the table and doing signings, and everybody was like drawing like really intricate drawings, because they're all like, it was like Brian and Gary, and like they're all just like doodling like these gorgeous pieces. And I'm like, I went and I drew like this little, like, I don't know if it was a stick figure, but it was like a little person, like, and that was like the extent of how much I could draw it. It looked hilarious, like, in comparison to all of this like beautiful art. So no, I'm not. Maybe I have to teach myself. I know Jeff is really good at that. Jeff can do little like drawings for people, and it's pretty impressive. And I'm like, you know, I do believe that anybody can learn anything. Sure. Like, it's to a degree. Obviously, like, you can't be an Olympic swimmer if you didn't start already, but like, you can learn how to get better at doing whatever that thing is. So no, I'm not going to be an artist tomorrow, but like, there is things you can learn if I really felt strongly about that. About doing doodles for people.
Like when you go to Chip Zdarsky, because he was on Batman for a while, he will once in a while do like a little Batman next to it if you ask him. But it's very simple. Very simple.
Yeah.
We got to figure out which character.
What I could do in the most
Sisterhood or DEVOUR.
You're like, yeah, exactly.
But all right, so you got to promise me this: when you do sign my issue 1 of Sisterhood, you got to put a little stick figure right here.
Oh my God,
it's hilarious.
I'm not making any promises.
Okay,
I'm not making any promises I can't keep. Yeah.
All right, fair enough, Maytal. But that would be hilarious.
Finger in the mail. Yeah. You'll be like, who is trying to kill me? Like,
I think that'd be hilarious, though. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, I mean, a bunch of news has come out from Ghost Machine. Ghost Machine, I feel, came out of nowhere, and it is, we talked about this last time. It is a group of all-stars that are part of this team, and it just keeps expanding and expanding.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the title, I mean, I love Sisterhood. I love HYDE Street. Like, all of it is so good. Rook Exodus is insane. Have you had a chance to read some of the other titles, and do you have a favorite outside of what you've done?
Oh, I don't want to pick favorites, but I read all of the books, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, actually, I'm not sure. I know I don't want to throw anybody else under the bus, but I do read all of them. I think it's just informative for one, but also they're great books. Like, they're fun to read. They're great titles, like every single one. I don't think there's a weak one in the bunch. Like, I really enjoy reading other people's stories, both for the fact that we're all working together and we're all a team, but also just as a learning opportunity, really, because I can see how they do things differently from how I do things, and especially starting to like dabble in different universes, like that I need to know what those universes are and what the tone is. And so I've always read all the books, but like I think it's so important to stay on top of it to the best of my ability, because I do sometimes get really busy with my own writing, and then I'm like, oh no, I have all these books to catch up on. But like, generally speaking, I think, I love every single title that we have.
That's awesome.
I really think if there's something for everybody,
Absolutely there is. Yeah. Is the plan that Leila will kind of go where you go, or?
I mean, yeah, like that. I would say that is the plan. Yeah, like Leila
awesome.
and I are a team. Like, we are a team. We are, we're a bonded pair. Like, we definitely, at this point in time, especially, but like also in the future, like I see myself working with her for as long as she'll allow me to work with her until she gets tired of me. But like, like truly, I would work with Leila like endlessly. I adore her. She's an incredible person, but her art is also like so impactful, and the emotion that you see in those characters, like she brings it to life, but she also adds a layer. Like, as I go back, sometimes I find things that she's put in, like in the background, that I didn't even think of, or really, like I wrote something out, but then she kind of has her own version of it that is my version, but like elevated. Like, it's like she understands what I'm trying to get across, and she just elevates it every single time. And I adore Leila, so I genuinely, like, she is the only person I want to be working with. Like, that is, she knows that. I hope she knows that. But like, I hope that we can continue to work together for a very long time.
Yeah, I hope so too. You seem like an amazing pair. We talked a little bit about this last time too. You could tell when a writer and an artist are maybe not on the same page. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It doesn't necessarily mean they don't get along. Sometimes there's a language barrier. Sometimes there's a misunderstanding. Like, there's a bunch of really like genuine reasons why that would happen. But you could tell as a reader, when you're reading, you're like, the words say one thing and the art maybe is saying something a little different. You two seem to have an amazing collaboration between the two.
Yes,
like you said, the emotion that comes out of the art that really highlights the story itself. Like, I love to read that when two people are just humming on the kind of the same tone and the same tune. Yeah. I think it really works. Obviously, you felt that way through the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Absolutely. No doubt. I was actually going to add that, like, sometimes, actually all the time, the art comes back. It's incredible. Like, I will send the script, then Leila will draw it, the art, she'll send me the art, like, as she's going, and I'll basically go back in and I'll edit the dialogue. Like, just to your point, like, I'll edit the dialogue to match those expressions. It usually stays the actual context, like what's happening in the scene will remain the same, but the little words and things, they have to match what you see on the page. So I'm not going to be a stickler for like, oh, I wrote this word, because that's not what the character looks like they're saying. So I try to match it all to what she puts on the page, to the best of my ability. And sometimes it's exactly right when I don't have to do anything. But even if I do, like, I'm happy to, because I want it to have that synergy that you're just describing, where you read it and you feel like, oh yes, I see what the characters are doing. And I don't know anyone specifically who is like this, but I can imagine that there are people that don't want to change their words because it's what they wrote. But like, I just think this is such a collaborative process. And if I'm going to be a stickler for my words, like, that's a mistake. Like, that's a mistake, because it's, you know, if the readers will lose it out because of it, and so will I. Like, and also I think it's a learning opportunity too. Like, it's, you know, because it's such a collaboration, like, she teaches me things every day, and I always see it as, this is how it can be better. Like, this is how she's made it better. And so I want to meet her at her level. Like, I've talked about it before, but like, Leila is my biggest inspiration. Like, that she is the person that I send these pages to, and she is the one that I care whether she likes them or not. Like, if she reads them and she's inspired by them, then I feel like that's a win for me. Like, and she's told me before that, like, oh, I read it and now I really want to draw and I'm excited. And if she doesn't have that feeling, like, that's crushing, because I want her to always feel inspired and to always want to, you know, draw and do what she does in an amazing, incredible way. And so she is my target audience, basically. Like, you know, like, she is the number one person that I'm like, if you like it, I'm good. You know, I'm good. And then that kind of translates to, like, if we like it, we're good. And obviously, like, I think, you know, we both have our elements of, like, you know, I guess I'd call it like neuroses, or, you know, of like, you know, like, oh my God, what did people say? Or like, you know, I have to check what someone said, or this or that. And like, you know, I try to be better about that. And like, I think both of us do, but like, I think at the end of the day, where we feel most accomplished is when we both like the product that we put out and we're both happy with it. So yeah, well, absolutely. We are a team. We are partners in this, and there's no one I'd rather do it for.
I love to hear that, because it certainly comes across, because you both are kind of kicking ass when it comes to your title. You talked a little bit about the Unbelievables. You obviously probably can't say a whole lot, but I'm going to share my screen just so fans, because this
go for it. Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge announcement. Yeah.
A huge announcement, right? And a lot of amazing titles. You have to forgive Bleeding Cool. They have ad pops up but they always have great articles. And here is kind of a map. So if you're wondering like what the universe kind of looks like, this is a good, I think, picture to kind of share with everyone as to what the Unbelievables and how a couple of the titles that were already been released, Peter's writing those with Hornsby and Halo and the Rockefellers. Well, look at all these other titles, and it seems like maybe Peter's taking a larger role and expanding this, only because I see his name on a lot of the titles that are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely, like, I think this, you know, obviously, you know, there's a level to which, like, Pete understands this universe and has been doing it, you know, in Hornsby and Halo and in the Rockefellers, and like, this is an expansion also, like, for all of us. But I think I would say he's running point on that. Like, he understands it very well. And like, I know it's been announced, but like, him and Jeff are doing a title together, like, you know, and I mean, all of these titles, like, they're, you know, they're huge and they're new for us and for our universe. And I think there's a lot here that I think could be really exciting, you know?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. A lot of really titles that I'm super, like, Invaders, y'all. I cannot wait to figure out what that's all about. I do live in Texas now, so y'all is every other word that you say.
Yeah, that's so funny.
You go. We have the Curious Creatures of Dr. Maru. You have Holiday Heights. Obviously starting with the $1 Trillion Kid, which sounds it's so funny. Growing up, it was like the $1 Million Man, and $1 million was like so big. Million is nothing. Now it's the $1 Trillion Kid. Like,
that's so sad. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah.
It kind of is sad, but I'm like, yeah, $1 million is nothing now. Like $1 trillion is where it's all at, right? Not even $1 billion. We're gonna skip that.
We're skipping the millions.
Just so it lasts longer, right? Maybe another year.
Yeah.
And then you have Gene G, Unbelievable, which sounds super interesting, and the Dead Tones, which sounds really fun, like a crazy rock band that a lot of weird things are probably going on in their lives. So some really cool titles coming up, which is very excited just for Ghost Machine in general.
For sure.
One of the questions that's always asked is, we love all these titles, what's next? And of course, you all know something that we don't know at all times, because you're probably working 6 months to a year in advance on a lot of this stuff. But to see this, it just shows how hard everyone's working over there. And I'm really excited. I don't know which one I'm most excited about. I know $1 Trillion Kid. When I saw this, I immediately called my comic shop and said, please put this in my pull box. But that one I'm really excited about. And I guess I'll just learn a lot more about what everything else is going on here.
Yeah, we've got, a lot of fun things, I think, coming. And I think, all of the thing we want to always focus on, and like it's interesting you say that, like, people are like, okay, what's next? And I think something that's so important to us as a company is to make sure that everything we put out is like quality, and I think that's really been the focus of Ghost Machine, and that's why I think people love the books. And I mean, I'm doing my best myself to make sure that I live up to that quality. And I think the art really speaks for itself, and not just in Sisterhood, but all across the board. And, I think that's been the big focus. And so announcing all these new titles is really exciting. And I think we want to maintain that same quality across the board.
Yeah. Well, I would expect nothing less from the team that you all have. It's literally a team of Hall of Famers and All-Stars. So here's some of the covers that I was telling you about earlier that we could expect to come out, right? So we have the $1 Trillion Kid, which will start off issue 1. And then because Halo or Hornsby and Halo and the Rockefellers tie in to everything that's happening with the Unbelievables, we'll have a 0, which I assume will kind of show how it's all related. And then we jump right into issue 13 of the Rockefellers and 14 of Hornsby and Halo, which will continue the kind of the 5-part series that really launches the Unbelievables. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know that, again, Pete has kind of been running a lot of this, and Pete and Jeff have been doing a lot of it. So I can't really speak to everything specifically that's in the books, but I do think you're pretty correct in that we're going to be introducing the bigger universe, and that's going to be a big thing. And then the $1 Trillion Kid is the first of kind of these new stories that will be coming out.
Yeah. It looks so cool. I'm going to put this in the show notes below for everybody that's watching, so you could find out more. Bleeding Cool, I felt, had one of the better articles really highlighting a lot of the things that are about to take place at Ghost Machine. So I'm really excited about this. And then if you haven't seen the official guidebooks, these things,
that's really cool. The guidebook's really
like
cool.
Marvel and DC would put these out once in a while. I think just to bring all these characters together and really kind of help define who these people are is going to be really exciting as well.
And the covers that everybody did are insane. Like, I've been seeing them. Like, we have this group chat, all of like the Ghost Machine people. Like, we have all this big group chat, and usually it's like nonsense. Like, it's like it's just like random things. Like, it's snowing somewhere and it's hot in LA, like that. That kind of thing. But like. But sometimes we share like little pieces of art and things like that, and that are going on in the books, and someone will share it, or Brad will share it with his color, and it's just been wild to see. Like, I just think everybody it's so incredible. Like, I can't even imagine the effort that went into doing these, but like it really shows. It really shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get all of these. Of course, the covers look awesome. Look at the detail on that.
It's the detail. Yeah,
the detail's insane. For people that haven't had an opportunity to enter into the comic book world like you have, and you're writing a story and you're partnering with an artist, what is that feeling like when you send off a story and then you start to receive pages and you start to see what you wrote come to life? Like, what is that feeling that you get when you get like that first page of art? Is it even explainable?
Yeah, I don't know that I can really explain it or like sum it up in a nutshell, but but I think it is, it's cool, to say the least, to see something that you wrote and how someone else interpreted it, because obviously you're going to write something and you have a certain image in your brain and you're doing your best to communicate what that image is, and then when it comes back and it's better than what was in your brain, that is like, you're like, wow, like sometimes I'm like, did I even do anything here? Like, I think Leila did it all. Like, that's but that's just me. But I do think like it is an amazing feeling, and it's a conversation. Like, we both talk a lot outside of the of writing, and we talk about our work, and we actually talk like once a week about like everything that's going on and what we're writing and what we're working on, and to kind of get on the same page all the time. So we just like chat, which is awesome. Like, but also when I'm getting those pages, that is also a form of conversation that we're kind of having. Like, she's getting the script, I'm getting the pages back. Like, that is a form of dialogue between us, whether there's actual words being said or whether it's just like a script and a page. Like, there's an understanding. And obviously I'll comment on it and say like it's amazing. That's always the response. But like, it's incredible. But that is a form of conversation, is like that back and forth and getting those pages and responding to them with another page with another script.
I love it. We got Danny in the chat. What's up, Danny? I don't know if you heard me gushing over you. She did send it to me, the map. I already pulled it up. I appreciate it, Danny. I'm getting an email. That's why I was looking over here. She sent me an email.
Danny's so on top of it. She's like, do you have the map? Like,
yes, Ray, the map is awesome. Danny recognizing Ray's here. He's recognizing her. This is so cool because those covers there's so many Easter eggs probably in there, and probably the reason why you need to be like fully engulfed in Ghost Machine, because as you start to read all the different titles, you'll probably notice little things. Like Cameron said right here, anybody knows the HYDE Street arcade machine at the bottom left of the $1 Trillion Kid, which I think is so cool. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull that back up again, because I'm not sure I noticed it until he or she said that. Let me go back up to the. Oh yeah, there it is. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen again. Let's see if we can find the arcade. That is so cool. That's why I love this stuff. That's why I'm a comic book fan. Yeah, right here, the HYDE Street.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Right there. There's probably a bunch of stuff. Here's HYDE Street. There's a bunch of stuff. Probably if you stare at this a while, you'll start to notice a lot of different things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the cool things is there's so many, like, I don't know, like I'm thinking back on like the Rockefellers cover where everybody was in like different Halloween costumes and like, different characters. Like, there's all these fun things that we're able to do. I mean, the group is able to do, I think, like in creating this and these like the crossover elements, obviously, because it's not a direct crossover, but like these crossover elements that we can kind of see, and hints and Easter eggs and all this fun stuff. And I think it's awesome. Yeah, honestly, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, the guidebooks are fire. They're amazing.
Insane. Yeah.
I'll have to get all 3 of those. Wish I knew if $1 Trillion Kid was an ongoing or miniseries. Don't know if you could speak to that, but we'll probably find out soon. I series to begin with the other titles for sure, but I don't think it's announced on whether this is. If
it hasn't been announced, I don't want to speak to it. Anything that hasn't been announced, generally speaking, I wouldn't speak to it. But just in case I'm wrong, honestly, it's not. It's like if I say something and then you're like, Maytal said it was announced, and it's like, no, she was wrong. Like
you denied us like a pro. Maytal, I love it.
And then I told you why I was denying it, so I ruined the whole thing. I could have gotten away with it too. Like...
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yes, and then Leila's cover for Rockefeller Zero is awesome.
Yes, Leila's cover. I mean, Leila has done a few covers. I don't know how many of them have come out yet. Not just for that, but for other things. And like they're all of them incredible. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, couldn't agree more. She is fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see who else got something here. The guidebooks are a must buy. It will give so much context and hopefully some unanswered questions. I'm going to go bankrupt. Yeah, I think I am too. Oh my God. So yeah.
They do have the best folks in the biz for sure. Don't worry, they're only $3.99. No one sent it. Danny also.
Danny, I'll work. Here, yeah.
You're such a pro, Danny. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's so awesome. But yeah, Maytal, I'm so happy for you with Sisterhood. It came out so
Thank
good.
you.
And the trade, like we mentioned, is coming out. I'm going to pop it up on the screen one
Please
more
do,
time.
yes.
And like I mentioned, I do have everything in the show notes. So if you're watching this after the live, you could get over there. Today is the day, though. You need to call your comic book shops and you need to make sure that they get this in your pull box. So let them know you want the trade of Sisterhood. The Lunar Code is right here. You just give them that code and it makes it really easy for them to look it up. But yeah, you're going to get all 192 pages, the 5 issues. You'll be able to binge it.
And Devour. Devour's in there too.
Oh, Devour's in here too. Sweet. As it should be. As it
Yeah.
should be. You're right.
It's all Sisterhood and Devour's in there. It's like a little bonus. Like,
yes.
So if you didn't read that, you kind of get it all. Like you don't, you know, even if you're not caught up, like you can catch up pretty easily. I'm just gonna say. Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Danny. Only $3.99, guys. Come on. $3.99.
What are you waiting for? Yeah.
Such a deal. And it looks like Gary Frank did this cover.
Which one?
For Sisterhood?
Oh yeah, the cover. I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about the guidebook. I lost.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, that is a Gary Frank and Brad Anderson cover. It is incredible. It is. So I love that cover. It's really just an amazing representation of the story. I think in such a way that like you have both of them in it, and you feel like I don't know. I just look at that and it's like both haunting and brilliant at the same time. I really, really love this cover. I remember when I first saw it, the pencil, and I was like, wow, this is wild. Like there was a sketch beforehand and I couldn't envision it, like because my little brain is thinking about stick figures, but like really once it came out, like I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I had it with my phone background for a while. I really loved that.
Again, we were talking about the crazy like all-star group over at Ghost Machine, but to have Gary and Brad on a cover is pretty awesome. Yeah. It's just
I know, and they're such great guys too. Like I think everybody knows that. Like there's no question, but like everybody is. There's like seriously not a bad like egg in a bunch. Like it's like but Gary and Brad have always like been so willing to like get on covers to do like additional covers for us, and like I think if you can see it, that one right behind me is a Gary Frank original. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just might be pointing, but like that. I have all of them. That one's Yvonne, and that one is Leila. Yeah, or Ivan for people who don't. He responds to anything, really. It's like me.
Well, when you see those covers, you can understand why your wife said, "Okay, you could have those. Nothing else."
They're pretty awesome. It's the original art. I'm very grateful to have that, and that I think it's just so cool and such a representation of like it was my first comic book, and so to have that, it's like always a reminder of that first experience with writing a comic book, and it's just like it's amazing. I think it's like I already feel like I've grown so much from Devour, but at the same time I am so proud of that product. Like I just am so proud of what I was able to put out into the world, and people who responded. Thank you, Cameron. I see that on the bottom. Love Devour. Thank you. I do feel like the goal is to always be growing and improving my writing and my storytelling and everything like that. But it doesn't mean I can't be proud of all of the things I have, I've put out already before, because it was where I was when I wrote it. Like, you know what I mean? I was at the point where that was what I wanted to put out. And I love that book. But, I do want to always be growing and improving. Or else, like, what's the point,
Yeah, absolutely. I love Secret Treats.
Yeah.
It's a shirt in the Threadless store, too.
The cover? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. We have
The
to.
cover, I told you, I mean, I'm not going to turn around, but it is the cover on my back.
It's the Gary Frank and Brad cover on that shirt. So
on the shirt, yeah.
If you like that cover, you got to pick up the shirt over at Ghost Machine Pro.
There is, I will say also, there are other, they have basically a bunch of the covers, not all the covers, but a bunch of the covers in, in the Threadless store and I, by the way, have all of them. I'm again, I think it's just me and but I love them. I have all of them and some of them, Danny actually worked really hard to make this possible, but there's the Sisterhood bird in the corner of some of them, with the art on the back, with the cover art on the back, and it's just such an awesome shirt. So get the shirt too.
Get the shirt.
Why not?
Well.
Get the shirt. You might.
I think he's talking about the trade, but maybe the
shirt
too.
Maybe the shirt too. Yeah, I love the idea that it's like just them and me walking around with Sisterhood shirts. Yeah, like Raymond and I.
They would do it too. They would do it. They would do it. Yes, and then according to Danny, if you like the sweater, the hat, the shirt, all of that's at Ghost Machine Pro.
Look at us being a walking advertisement. Look at us.
You know how often I wear this? Either they think I'm in a biker gang called Ghost Machine because of my beard, or they know exactly what it is and like, oh, dude, I didn't know Ghost Machine made hats. Because I wear
That's wild. That still hasn't happened to me, and I wear my Ghost Machine shirt like always when I travel. When I'm traveling, it's like my go-to shirt. Yeah. But I wear my Ghost Machine shirt all the time, and no one's said anything yet. Not that that's like unless I walk into a comic book shop, you know what I mean? Like when everybody's like, yeah.
Well,
why you wearing your own merch?
I do travel a lot. Because of work, and I do wear this hat quite often.
That's so cool.
At least a couple times people come up and going, "Oh, that's so cool!" So
that's awesome. I love that. I really do.
Yeah. Nope. He has the shirts too.
Yes. Thank you, Irene.
Yeah. So good, man. What a great couple, man. That's so awesome. I was gonna go over here real quick because we showed those. I want to make sure that we're showing everything on the covers. So we have, let's see, the Hornsby and Halo and the Rockefellers. The trades are also, they're already out for the first art.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
You should go and get those, especially with all the news that has come out on the Unbelievables. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to go back if you haven't jumped into some of these titles already, just to prepare yourself for everything that's about to happen with the Unbelievables as this world our universe continues to expand. You could also go over to Ghost Machine Pro or just go to your local comic book store and make sure they order, if they don't already have them in the stores. A lot of my comic shops have the trades already, but order yourself the Peter Tomasi and Francis Manapul, all of their Hornsby and Halo and the Rockefeller trade.
Well, Peter Snaberg is Hornsby and Halo.
I'm sorry?
Peter Snaberg is
for the Hornsby and Halo.
So it's for Francis is for Rockefeller. Yeah.
You're right. Yep. So good too. Those titles are awesome. So
I'm excited for this new universe too.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this $1 trillion kid too. When I saw it come out, and just so many questions. I cannot wait. I do have Pete on at the end of the month after MegaCon. So we'll see how much he's allowed to talk about it. But
I'm sure he'll have more answers on the topic than I will. Obviously, but yes. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then I'm kind of excited to see what's next for you too, Maytal. So I know we talked about it already. You can't say anything, but I'm just glad to know there's more coming because I think a lot of people really love Devour and Sisterhood, and we want to see what you and your partner Leila have for us in the next title. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and honestly, I think people will. I hope that people who enjoyed these books will also follow us to different universes and things like that, because that is again a huge chance for us to showcase what else we can do. So again, we're expanding a little bit and doing things in different universes, which should be fun. And then obviously eventually we'll get back to HYDE Street.
Yeah, I feel like, again, without spoiling, I feel like how Sisterhood ended, we could see a little bit more possibly.
I don't want to speak to that because it's not like I will say like it's funny because I definitely have like ideas of how like there could be kind of a continuation, but like also we originally had written it, you know, to be this miniseries that starts and ends. But then after it also came out, Leila and I had already been talking about like, are we going to continue it? Like, should we do that? But it's not, I don't want to say like that's what we're doing or that is definitely the path we're going to take. But for now, the Sisterhood that is, you know, pick up this one. This one's a good start to finish story. And if we do choose to continue it, we have some great ideas for how to do that.
So have you, without knowing whether it'll continue or not, do you automatically, just because it ended on issue 5, do you continue kind of like map out what the story would be if it does get an opportunity to come back, or do you wait until it's announced? Like,
wait. I mean, I wouldn't wait till if we did decide to continue with it. I don't want to, you know, get people's hopes up that we're continuing with it, but like if we were to continue with it, we would come up with the entire arc and have an idea for how that was going, and only then, once we have some of it written and some of it drawn, we would probably announce. Which is also why I can't really speak to some of the other stuff we're doing for the same exact reason, is that we're working on these things and I'm writing, and Leila, you know, like we're doing these other things. And so like once we have them in a good place, that's when a lot of those will get announced.
Yeah, right on. When as a writer and like a lot of writers that I've interviewed, they all have different techniques of when ideas come to them, how they capture those ideas. Some have like a pad of paper next to their bed because sometimes at night their mind's going and like, oh, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Do you do anything like that where you just capture ideas? Do you?
Yeah, I do. But you know, to be honest, this is maybe a mistake, but a lot of it's in my notes app. So on my phone. So the reason I say maybe it's a mistake is because unless I remember that I wrote it down in my notes app, which usually if it's a story I'm currently working on, then I will remember that I wrote it in my notes app and I will go back and like either move it to the story. I sometimes when inspiration strikes, I guess, like I usually will immediately want to go work on whatever it is. So if I'm writing in my notes app, it's usually to like, if it's a random, like I'm in bed and then I'm like, oh, I have this idea, then that's when I'll like turn to my, you know, notes app and write it all down and write as much as I can think of. But generally speaking, if I'm like just hanging out and then an idea comes, I'll like go write it. Like I'll do my best to like go write it because it's like I'm excited to continue, especially if it's something I'm currently working on. I think when I write like random ideas that just like came to me in my notes app, like that's where they go to die, because it's like, how am I going to remember that I had an idea? And like sometimes I just like write in a Word doc like things that are interesting to me. And again, like, will I ever see that again? Who knows? Maybe a few years down the line when I like open it and I'm like, what's this? Like, you know, and I also actually, I write a lot in a notepad, but that's mostly when I'm working. Like, so I have these notepads, they're not necessarily dedicated to a specific like project, but I do have one that's pretty much all Sisterhood stuff, just because that was what, you know, when I was working on that, like that, you know, was the notebook I was using. So it's primarily that. So I'll like jot down ideas and I'll use it to kind of get my brain flowing or my thoughts, you know, flowing. And so I'll use a notepad and jot everything down. Once I'm in the writing process, generally speaking, I'll probably be at my computer, you know, typing it up.
When putting your comic book together, let me see if I have it right here. If not, we'll move on. But I love seeing how people. I do. So the Joker War in DC Comics, Pete wrote. And so what I love when I see Pete at a Comic-Con, he actually prints out his entire outline for the comics that he's done.
Oh, I did not know that. That's so cool. I actually
has them there. But I learn a lot by his thought process, how he writes to the artist, as far as giving instructions like by panel, sometimes by page. And then obviously the artist, this is what dictates how the art is going to come out, right? Because the artist is looking at that. I'll just throw the one page where it's just kind of like a paragraph. Some of them it'll be like,
yeah, I've actually read a lot of, I mean, Pete was kind enough to share a lot of his outlines and scripts with me earlier on. So I've read a good amount of his, like how he does his scripts, and everybody has a little bit of a different style, but it was very informative.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, because I have this, and if he's made it available, or anybody there, Jeff or anybody, has your style of how you communicate with Leila been affected by some of these other ones that you've seen?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I read when I was starting out, like in comics, like all I was really familiar with was like television scripts, which are a completely different format. So I got scripts from, all like our whole team basically, like, anybody who would share them with me. And then eventually once I felt like I had read enough and had a good understanding of like what the general format is, I kind of turned it into like my own version, and it changes and evolves. And I try to make sure that it's as clear as possible, especially I don't, Leila lives in Italy. She's French. Like she speaks English, and like her English is incredible. But like, sometimes I want to make sure that I'm being clear, and so that so that we're communicating 100%. And that definitely affects how I write for sure. And also all of that, I take all of that into account. And also having learned from how Jeff and Pete and, write, that also changed my style as well. Because that was my original, introduction to it. Not that I will say a lot of comic books, like hardcovers especially, like, or omnibuses, or like they have, or sometimes even trades, but they have scripts in the back. Like, if you're reading, like, I don't know, like, I feel like Daredevil had it. Like, it's like, there's like all these, like, tons of them do. It's not like a specific, but I remember like I would kind of be like, oh, this is interesting. And I would read like the script as it's written. That was also very informative even before writing in comics. Yeah.
Yeah, I only asked that because what's funny is sometimes when you take in all that information and then you kind of develop your own, a lot of times the artists will come back and say, actually, if you could do it this way, right? Because it's easier for me. I'm sure there's a lot of back and forth. Like, that's a little more information than I need, or can you develop a little bit more? I don't know how often that happens with Leila.
No, I have had to learn to, sometimes I can be a little, I guess, like verbose. Like, I talk a lot, and I like go over, like, I explain myself to a degree that is unnecessary. And so I've had to learn to cut back on that, but that can be true for television scripts too.
Sure.
Like, my first draft, I'm always like explaining exactly what everybody's doing. And then like when I go back, I'm like, wait, I have to be more concise, and there is a way to communicate this without all these words. So I try to do the same thing unless it's very necessary for me to get the point across. But I will say I feel like I have learned to, I just kind of say, and maybe this is just my style, but like, because I know the person reading this is Leila, I kind of make sure that it's just clarity. It trumps everything else. And that's something I learned from Jeff and Pete and everybody, that like clarity is the most important. So like, yeah, you can write like a beautiful prose or whatever, but like, it's not necessary if you're not getting your point across.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. I love that. I love understanding people's processes, that create comic books. I just think it's super interesting. Everyone's a little bit different, which I love. And yeah, I learn a lot. Hi, Andrew. This is Andrew. Good evening, fellow comics people. So I love this little,
I'm like terrible at this stuff. Like, I feel like I'm like, the chat goes on and I'm like, what's happening? Like, I'm easily distracted. I have ADHD. So I'm like, ooh, what did they say? Like,
well, hopefully I'm not distracting you too much by reading
No, not at all. It's just like, it still, even though I should understand, like, I've seen friends jump into these live chats, and I feel like I'm older than my years when that happens. I'm like, what is going on?
That's hilarious. Hope to see a HYDE Street Deluxe in the future featuring DEVOUR. Yeah, I'm sure at a certain point there'll be an omnibus that will have, a certain amount of HYDE Street, DEVOUR, Sisterhood, in one giant, big, thick.
It might have been discussed and I'm not aware of it, but I think there's a world. I mean, I can't really speak to it because it's far out, but I wouldn't be surprised if HYDE Street kind of has its own, and hopefully eventually that maybe there's enough for us to put another book out that's a hardcover, maybe if we put another miniseries out or something like that. So there's 100% a chance for that. I don't really know how that's going to play out. I don't think we necessarily know how that's going to play out yet.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen for sure.
I mean, me too. Yeah.
That would be amazing. I collect every single issue and will always collect the trades.
Thank you, Cameron.
I can't wait to see what Maytal does next. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more, Cameron. Couldn't agree with you more. I love that. So Maytal, with everything that's going on, the trade coming out, what is the rest of the year look like? I know you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Are you doing any other after that you know of?
Not that I know of, just because I think, I think this is true for the company as a whole, but we want to focus on our, work and what we're putting out. And that's so important. And I love going to conventions, by the way. I find them to be so much fun, especially like talking to people and meeting people in person that that you talk to outside of that. Like it's so nice to go and it's so fun. And there's just this energy that really, it like gets you really excited to keep going and to keep making more amazing books, hopefully amazing, but like more books, and it makes you, I love that energy. I love all the energy around conventions. But at the same time, like I currently am feeling like I have my work cut out for me. I'm not, it's like I have a lot that I'm working on for Ghost Machine, and like there's a lot of moving pieces. And so I want to make sure that is my primary focus. I always want to make sure that the writing is my primary focus because I want to bring more great books for you guys, Well,
I think we want that too. I
hope so.
And then real quick, Maytal, how do people follow you?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Zchut, MZCHUT, and then I think that's really what I'm on primarily. Honestly, yeah, I don't think I'm really on anything else. But you can follow me on that. It's M and then my last name. Yeah.
That is a blessing, by the way, of not being on.
That I'm only on Instagram. I just don't check. I have a few other socials, but I don't really check them. So I would say if you want to follow me, if you want to know what's going on with the future of my stuff at Ghost Machine, then I would say follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, fair enough. Will Ghost Machine have their own booth at San Diego Comic-Con?
I cannot speak to this because I don't think it's been announced yet. Okay. I do not, that what is happening may have not been announced yet. So I don't want to speak to anything.
Yes. So you might not be able to speak to future action figures either because we got a Junkyard Joe.
I also cannot speak to that.
Okay. What else can I ask you?
I plead the fifth. Like, it's like, what do I, like...
I think that is very, very, very smart. It'd be cool to have a Violet and Sophie.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I mean, I think we've announced certain things. Again, I know some of the stuff we've announced, but like we've announced partnerships with certain people and like, action figures or toys that we're doing. So I think some of that is available, like widely available online, and you can definitely find the information out there. But anything that's been announced is like what I think I can, I would want to feel comfortable sharing, Yeah.
No, we don't want anybody to get in trouble for.
No one's gonna get in trouble. They would be like, it's fine, but I don't want like anybody to have to work overtime to like fix my like what I announced. It's like, oh no, it's like I announced something and then they're like, we must make it happen. No, that's
2028. That's 2028.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, let's not do that. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Well, Maytal, I love having you on. I hope that we could have you on. What I would love, and Danny, I know you're here if you're listening, it would be awesome to have you and Leila together once the trade
I would love that too. I don't know.
Comic it's out there. Everyone's had a chance to read it. We don't have to, because I don't want to spoil anything, because the way it ends and everything that leads up to that, there's a lot of twists and turns. And I would hate for someone to not be able to experience the way I experienced it when I was reading it. So we want you to have that experience. But I do want to talk about some of the details and like the whys and all that good stuff, because I think that's very fun to do with the title as well. So maybe in April or May or when things slow down a little bit, I'd love to have you back, Maytal, so we could.
I would love to come back. And honestly, I am a spoiler phobe, so I do not want to spoil anything unless it's like there's a big disclaimer that's like, spoiler alert, like, for people who want to know more, I'm always happy to share. I'm happy to talk about the book, and I love it. And Leila, we'll have to ask Leila if she's willing to do that. Yes. I don't want to speak for her.
For sure, it's not for everybody, but it would be neat if she does like to do this kind of thing to have you.
I would love to have her do this, but again, it's not my decision, so it is hers at the end of the day. So yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, Maytal, I love talking to you. I cannot wait to meet you in person at San Diego Comic-Con. I missed you last year. I was supposed to go, but I do plan to be there this year. I have a ticket. I have a place to stay. So far, everything's going well.
That's great. I'm so excited.
Work happens, but I'll be there, and I look forward to
no more big moves. I think one.
No. You know how hard it is to pack this room alone? This room that I'm in right now took longer than the rest of our house, and I'm not even joking. Yes, because I have 700, 800 action figures. I got books. I got everything. Each action figure has to be put into its own bag because of the parts. Like, it took me forever. I don't know if I'll ever move again. It's just a pain in the ass. Oh, I think you're on mute. I lost you. Are you on mute? Hello? What happened? Hello? No. I lost sound with you. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Don't move. All right. You there? Nothing. I can't hear nothing. I don't know. It was going so well. No. I don't know what happened. The best part of Sisterhood is the twists and turns. I agree with you, Cameron. I agree with you. It was so fun. I like turning pages going, what the hell just happened? That's crazy. I don't know what happened, Maytal. Let me see. No stress, Maytal. No stress. That's so weird. Yeah. This is pretty funny, Maytal. I think Violet has sabotaged this. There's somebody that knows what happens in your book for sure. That was hilarious. Oh, that was a good one. I wish I thought of that first, Cameron. That was awesome. I don't know. Let me see. Let me go to settings real quick. Audio. You can hear me though, right? No. Did you look at your Bluetooth? Maybe it disconnected. You're good, Maytal. You're good. Yeah, leave and come back. Can you remove yourself? Hit the remove and then, or maybe exit and then hit the link again. Yeah, I'll wait for you. Why Maytal exits and comes back. I'm going to share my screen again, though, everybody, because
can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. You know what it is? I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry, guys.
You're good.
I don't know what happened, but it's randomly connected to like my iPhone. Like I turned Bluetooth on and off, and it just like I see it now in the settings. I had to go into the audio settings and be like, "Hello." It just used my laptop, but yeah, and now it's using it's not even using my headphones. It's using the laptop. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
You're good. It's okay. No stress.
I'm going to take these off because they're not doing anything anymore.
They're not doing anything. They look cool though. So yeah.
Yeah, it was part of the look. Exactly.
Okay, yes, Irene. Irene's always so positive.
Thank you, guys. I'm sorry about that. That's so weird. That's never happened to me before.
You're good. All good. Apple will do that once in a while.
Especially I should have just turned off my phone when this started, and then that would have been the right choice.
I do want to show this one last time, Maytal. Please call your comic book store. Today is FOC. have them order this for you, put it in your pull box. It'll be ready April 22nd. And then you'll be able to sit down and binge through all of Sisterhood. And Devour is in here too. So you're going to get everything Maytal has written up to this point, which is awesome. You're going to love it. And yes, Violet does cause a few issues. So
Violet does sabotage the audio. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Cameron, I wish I thought of that. That was so funny. That was awesome. But it's in the show notes. Give them that Lunar Code right here. And you'll be able to look it up really easy. Your comic shop will, and they'll be able to order that for you. But you got to support your favorite writers. Maytal, I have everything you've written so far. I really enjoy everything that you're doing over at Ghost Machine. I'm so happy for you with your first title being such a banger inside of HYDE Street, which is this incredible little universe inside of a bigger universe. It all ties in so well together, and I couldn't be happier for you.
Thank you. And I'm so stoked to keep going and keep doing stuff. Like Ghost Machine has been incredible, as everybody, you know, as I've expressed before, but like, I love this as a home base, like, and somewhere I can, you know, tell stories that are really personal to me and that are fun and that people can really enjoy. So I'm stoked to keep going.
Yes, yeah. And please tell your wife there should be at least the trade that's allowed to lay on the coffee table.
She will. I mean, maybe not on the coffee table, but I'm sure the bookshelf will be.
All right, let's not push it. Let's not get crazy, right?
I'm like hang it up from the wall. No, like
I love it.
Don't just leave them all around the house for her to find.
Yeah, freak out. Maytal,
no,
thank you so much.
She's super excited for me too, and I think yeah, and
I
I think she will allow it on the bookshelf. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna blow you up one more time so everyone can see that amazing art from
the
titles.
Devour art. Yeah, it's so cool.
So cool, especially the one on the left. That cover is I guess you're right, but my left.
Yeah. I mean, that's the A cover, right? That I think the one you're referring to. But like that's the A cover, and it's a great cover, and it works, you know, so well as, you know, the front and center of the book the first time you see like Miss Goodbody on it. Like it's great, you know. I love them all though. I love them all. Yeah,
I can't blame. Maybe you should get Sisterhood to help you in that matter. We better not bring Sisterhood into the household.
No, I do not want her in my household. Thank you.
Well, Maytal, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Everybody, go get that trade. But it's always a pleasure to get to talk to you. And I hope we could do this again once the trade is out and we could get into some of the details. Absolutely. And if I don't see you before, like if I don't see you then I'll see you at San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, absolutely. I look forward. I'll look for you. I promise. Awesome. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you again for having me. And sorry for the little audio problems, but thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful to be here. Awesome. Well, hang tight, Maytal. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being so active in the chat. We really appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to everybody soon. Bye, everybody.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.